It is time to finally build that God Squad. Stay frosty and head to buymaddencoins.com for the cheapest, fastest, and most reliable MUT coins on the market. I'll even help you shave off a few bucks. Use code DIRECTOR at checkout for 20% off. Yo, Auto Brothers, what's up? It's the Director. All right, Madden Ultimate Team fans, we gotta have a talk. Gonna have a talk about something that might be coming up in the future with Madden 21, which revolves around cross-platform play. Now, Madden 21 hasn't been officially announced as a cross-platform title, but during EA Play, a lot of games were announced. Apex Legends, Need for Speed, the new Star Wars Squadrons titles are all entering the cross-platform space, and this led a lot of guys to speculate that maybe Madden, for the first time ever, is going to be entering the cross-platform space as well. And what that means is basically all your buddies that are on the PlayStation, all your buddies that are on the Xbox, all your buddies that are on the PC will finally get to come together and play in one space. In Madden, that could have, several different consequences, both good and bad. So in this video, I do want to go over the pros and cons of whether or not, if Madden 21 went into the cross-platform space. Before we get started, guys, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this content, the small amount of time you guys take. Hit the like, sub, and bell notification helps out a lot. Let's get into this video. All right, guys, this is a pretty big one. This is one I was thinking about a lot this weekend. Now, again, I'm going to say this again. I'm going to reiterate this. It has not been announced that the Madden series is going to be cross-platform. It's very highly speculated in the community. That's why I am making this video in the first place. So the pros and cons. Let's start with the pros, all right? Let's say that all your buddies come together. Now, again, PlayStation, PC, Xbox, we can all play in the same space. The biggest thing I would be excited about if we were to go cross-platform is the longevity of the game. You think about where we are right now. I would say Madden Ultimate Team is, the space that I live in the most. Right now in June 20th, it's dead out there. Take a look at the market right now. This is a huge telling factor to it, Madden Ultimate Team. This Sean Taylor is going for way more than any golden ticket on the market right now, and that's because less packs are being open, less engagement is going on through head-to-head, less people are, opening anything, trying to get any sort of, return, because it's so late in the year, there's really no point in it. Guys got a 99 overall team, 98 overall team, they've got the rookie premieres, they're really kind of done with Madden Ultimate Team. Now, what would happen if we were to integrate, the Xbox, which I'm on right now, with the PlayStation guys and the PC guys? Well, obviously you're going to have a much bigger, market of people. You're going to have a much bigger audience of people engaging. So maybe, the numbers of these Sean Taylors, triple or, double or whatever. And that's ultimately good for the longevity of the game. And it doesn't just have to do with Madden Ultimate Team. Some guys get on Madden to play regs. Obviously, if there's more people, you should be able to get better matchmaking. More people, maybe some people play, online franchise. You can finally play with your buddies, on the PlayStation and the PC, build bigger communities for your franchises. Other game modes like, let's say, Superstar KO, which I would say maybe get a lower engagement just because it's a newer, mode. Not a lot of people maybe know about it. That should be easier to find matches on as well. So I would say the matchmaking is probably the biggest thing. And the game longevity, making sure it doesn't die out and fizzle out this time of year and giving us 2 to 3 dead months of Madden until the new one comes out. That would be pretty cool in my opinion. The other thing would be matchmaking. There are some points in the year where no matter what you do, you just can't find a game. At this point of year, I think it's a little bit more common than, during the football season, but having more people available should help you guys match up with more people and, engage in more games and not have to worry about waiting a long time to get matched up with anybody. So that's pretty good. But the other thing is, when you take, the markets of PC and PlayStation or Xbox, and you put them all in the same space, that should put more noobs in the servers. Am I right? I mean, I feel like, if you're looking at the actual player base of Madden 20 right now, I would say maybe 10% of them actually know how to play the game at a competitive level. And I would say the same thing on other platforms like maybe PlayStation and PC. If you put all of those guys together, yes, you're going to get, the 10% of players on PlayStation, the 10% of players on PC that are good at the game. You're going to put them, on your server. But at the same time, you're adding that 90% of noobs, from every platform onto the server too. So maybe if you're the kind of guy that, likes to go in there and thump some noobs around, I would say that's probably a good thing for you. You would be able to match up, with maybe less sweaty players every single game. And that would actually transfer over to something like Weekend League as well. Weekend League is known as one of the sweatiest modes in Madden Ultimate Team. A lot of people try and play it in order to get the rewards and stuff like that. The competition would go up in a mode like that, in my opinion. I would say you're going to have more skilled players in one place. But at the same time, maybe getting to the Weekend League would be a little less sweaty because of all the noobs integrated into the market. Maybe modes we'll see more engagement, like Draft Champion, Superstar KO, and Regs. Again, more people in the environment should spell, better matchmaking in those modes as well. A lot of people say, oh, Draft Champions fizzles out after a while, or Superstar KO, nobody plays it. Well, if you have that many people on one, a community, then that should help, with the matchmaking in that process. I already talked about the larger CFM communities. A unified community would be kind of cool too, and a copious market. Now, Madden Ultimate Team, I would say one of my biggest draws to it in the first place was the market system that they have implemented for Ultimate Team. I mean, trash MUT as much as you want, but this market system that they had, the first time I saw it in like Madden 25, I think Madden 13. I remember when I first started playing MUT. When I first saw the way they did their market, it got me pretty excited. It threw me back into the days that honestly I played Pokemon and stuff, like my youth of collecting, cards and items and collectibles. It got me pretty excited as to, how I could go out and get the best, team possible, being able to get some sort of value from the stuff I have now, intelligently working my way through an auction house, to give me an edge in the actual game. So I liked it. And if you have a whole bunch more people in the auction house at the same time, it should result, in more of the cards that are highly requested, like let's say the Sean Taylor being pulled out of packs. Therefore, the price of these cards should theoretically come down. So there could be a con to this, though. We'll get to that in just a second with my cons list. And then finally, with more cards being pulled, you should have cheaper sets. Now let's get into the cons here real quick, guys. With the good usually comes the bad and the sketchy, and I'm actually pretty worried about what would happen to Madden, especially Ultimate Team, if we did integrate with the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC communities. Now, the first thing would be, like I was just talking about the market, the larger buyer market, okay? So let's say, the Sean Taylor, all right? Let's say they released around the same number of cards, even with 3 communities in the same market space now. So let's say all of us, access the same market, but they still only release the same amount of cards. That could kind of screw us. With the double or triple the player base, supply and demand dictates prices would go up way more on those rarer cards. So maybe that's not as good. The prices of those, rarer, more highly, requested cards would go way up. So hopefully they don't do that. Hopefully they release enough cards that the prices don't become outrageous. The other thing in cross-platform could be the connectivity issues. We've seen connectivity issues in Madden, in a head-to-head, and Regs, and MUT, in all modes for very many years. And we're kind of wondering, what's up? What can we do to help? What are you guys doing with the servers and stuff? There's a lot of guys hoping we get servers in Europe. There's a lot of issues there. If you put all 3 platforms, on the same space, on the same servers, could that result in lower performance? Could that result in connectivity issues and server strain? That's something to kind of keep an eye out for. But the last couple of minutes that I want to dictate or dedicate this video to is going to be the bots. If you bring in the PC community to the Xbox and PlayStation communities, that could generate some big problems, especially in Madden Ultimate Team. So my, immediate solution is don't bring the PC guys into the console guys. I think that would kind of screw people over. And that's unfortunate for the PC guys, but there's a lot more ways to exploit the game on the PC side of Madden. All right, so the biggest things, if we did get, bots from the PC community into the consoles, that would be kind of chaotic in Madden. I would say market bots would absolutely flood the market, manipulating prices and killing sniping. So, if you're in here refreshing, trying to find a cheap, Sean Taylor, I would say the odds of you actually picking one up would be super slim, because there's going to be somebody out there that has programmed a bot to, pick up cards at a certain price and try and flip them. And honestly, that's not great for guys like me who definitely like to manipulate the market and have fun on that side of MUT as well. I would say maybe objective bots would become a problem as well. Games against bots or bot players could become common. And the biggest thing that I hate that people do right now, even, without bots on consoles, is the maximum pause strat. I feel like that could kill head-to-head. You guys know what the maximum pause strat is? It's those guys that come in there, they wait for the clock to go all the way down, then they hit the pause button, they wait for that clock to go all the way down, they take a penalty, they wait for that clock to go all the way down, and they do that over and over and over, with their maximum amount of pauses. Christ, I would hate to see that. And that's something you could program a bot to do, so every, head-to-head game you go into is going to be maximum length and very, very boring. So I'm really hoping, if they do bring in the PC community, they have something to address that, because that would absolutely kill head-to-head for me in Ultimate Team. The other thing is the solo bots. They could affect objectives and hurt us all if they've got guys, they're going in there with bots that are doing the solos for them. Maybe they have to, reevaluate how the solos themselves are accomplished and yada yada. I just don't want to see it, man. And finally, the biggest one that I would probably put on this list if the PC community does come in here is the desync glitch. Now, the desync glitch we've seen on consoles, a couple of times throughout the years, and it's bad. You're sitting there playing a head-to-head game, all of a sudden it says connection to your peer has been lost, and you take the L. That's a glitch that still lives on today in the PC community. I think it was something that was discovered very early in Madden 20, and I don't think it has been patched yet. I think it still lives on today. And if you see that kind of desync on the consoles from the PC players, yikes, dude. I don't want to live in that world. So those are my pros and cons. If they don't bring in the PC community, I would say that this would probably be mostly a good thing. A lot of people would be excited to play with their buddies. Maybe the market sees, a positive, reflection of all the people, coming into the same space. And then hopefully their servers can handle everything. And then obviously the cons would mainly include what would happen if the PC community got integrated with us. But guys, what do you think in the comment section below? What do you think Madden would be like if we did go cross-platform? Again, nothing's been confirmed. This is all purely speculative. A lot of games that were announced at EA Play are going cross-platform, which has led a lot of people to think, hey, maybe Madden Ultimate Team or Madden in general will go cross-platform as well. So you never know. We'll keep you guys updated. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. We'll see you next time, and as always, stay frosty.